Good lighting with this tiny cheap light? Yes! In that last video, I talked about this cute little light here. This is a Godox LED36. This is about as basic as it gets. It's just a little tiny LED, nothing special. It's only 15 bucks. Look how tiny. You can get 4 of them for 55 bucks. This is as simple and cheap as it gets, and they run on AA batteries. The cool thing about that is when you travel, you take the batteries out, you have no batteries with you, they're just totally empty. These weigh nothing when there's no batteries in there. They're like so lightweight, it's ridiculous. And then when you get to where you're going, then you buy batteries. You can get AA batteries at any corner convenience store, anywhere in the world. This is so easy to get. So these things weigh nothing when they travel, and they're so simple to use, and that's the cool thing about AA batteries. And if you are on location and the battery runs out, you just put some more in there. I mean, this is old school. It's so simple. And another cool thing about these is you see these little slots they have on the edge here, and then at the bottom they have this little hot shoe or cold shoe mount. You can actually slide the cold shoe thing into the slot and attach them together like that. And just add as many as you want and just keep building out like a Lego set. There's no end to it. So you can make something that's a little tiny little light into actually a pretty big light that weighs nothing when it travels, and you can make it as big and bright as you want just by adding more lights into it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take 4 of these things and I'm going to put one on each stand, and I'm going to light my face. And this is pretty harsh lighting. This is just bare. There's no diffusion on it or anything. So I'm going to use 4 of these things to create soft lighting, or I'm going to try to, on my face, because I love to tinker. I love to experiment. I'm going to bring you along for the ride. And I'm going to use these selfie sticks as light stands that I showed you in the last video. First thing I'm going to do is turn off house lights. So I've got no lighting on my face whatsoever, just the hair lights. So let's start with it. I'm going to fill in my face with these little tiny lights. Ta-da! Look at this. There's no softbox, there's no umbrellas, not even any diffusion on any of these. They're just little tiny little lights, and it looks pretty darn good. I've got 2 little lights here and 2 little lights here. Look how small they are. And if you want it softer, just put a 5th light above the camera, like a foot or 2 above the camera, to knock out the shadows from the sides. So that's the secret. If there's any little crisscrossing shadows you don't like, just add some more lights to knock out the shadows. And that's my secret. I love working with hard light, because soft light, you need big giant things that are like clunky and big and awkward, and they draw a lot of attention and they blow away in the wind. So that's the other thing. You can't take these outside. These lights are not very bright. You have to use them indoors, but indoors you can use anything because the cameras are so good nowadays that anything above candlelight is bright enough. And these things, well, obviously the more lights you have, the brighter it is, but you don't need a lot of light indoors. And check this out. I don't know if you caught this or not, but on the left we've got softer, more diffused lighting, same camera, and on the right we have the little lights which produce hard lighting. Do you see what I'm seeing? The one on the right looks sharper, cleaner, crisper, like it's more in focus. Even though it's the same camera, every little hair and detail has micro shadows and highlights. Every little detail has a little more contrast, which makes it look sharper. So if you want a nice, crisp, sharp, in focus looking thing, use harder lights. It's a great little trick and a wonderful benefit for using harder lights. Because sometimes when you use too much diffused light, everything looks a little too soft and washed out. You can even do this with 2 lights. 2 lights is good enough, but I'm using 4 for that nice filled in look from all sides. That's the secret. I love playing with hard light, and just the more little lights, and these things are great for putting little accent lights on the shelves or objects or things, so just get a whole bunch of them. I mean, just a whole pile of them and they weigh nothing. If you want a little more light, there's one that's twice as big. This is the Godox LED64. This is $20. It runs on 4 AA batteries. With the 64 LEDs is 20 bucks. The one with 36 LEDs is $15. I love things that are really, really small and lightweight and cheap that you can fit in your pocket and travel with and hike with, and you don't even know they're there because they're so small and light. I'm using 2 of the Ulanzi MT79s for the tall lights, and I'm using 2 of the, what is this? This is the KAIESS one for the lower ones. These go out to about here, but the The Alonzis go up like 7 feet. So I have 2 of those and 2 of the shorter ones. If you want really lightweight, get the Ashner 70. It's only 7.8 ounces. That's 221 grams. Great for traveling, and I use it sometimes to hold up my RX 100 pocket camera when I'm vlogging on location. I like to experiment, tinker, and see what I can get away with, and I share that with you, and that's what this channel's about. I hope you like it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Isn't this cool? I think it's cool.